Welcome back to a new video and a new project actually. Because I didn't have enough to do already, I went and bought an old bug. It's a 1965 Volkswagen Type 3 notchback. This one is called a 1500S, so it has dual carburetors and about 54 horsepower. When it's new, which it is not. So it's far from a speed demon, but I think it's kind of cute. I've always wanted one, and when I saw one for sale in the right color, I jumped on it because I had a little bit of extra cash right then. So yeah, new headaches. As you can see, the car is fairly high at the moment. That is because the engine is lying here on the floor. It's an air-cooled engine, as was most early Volkswagens, or all early Volkswagens. Boxer 4 air-cooled. And the reason why it's here is partially because it didn't run good. Misfired on the third cylinder and a bunch of other things, and also because I wanted to rust proof the engine bay, which is of course back in this part. I got the transmission, and in here is the engine normally, and you can see that has formed some rust, and I wanted to get rid of that. The plan for this is, as of now, not to fully restore it. It will be fully restored, but it will be fully restored when the Amazon is done. So the plan for now is to stop the rust and make it run good, so I can drive with it and use it while I fix the Amazon with the V8, the other project I have. So as of now, I've changed the rear brakes, I've taken out the engine, and I've started stripping it for rust proofing. The method I use is not very complicated. I take off every panel I can see, try to find some rust, then I attack it with a wire wheel. For the places I can't get with a wire wheel, I got my drill with a scotch pad at the end. When I remove the vast majority of the rust with the wheels, I use this, which is partially an acid that attacks rust and partially an epoxy primer. So I've never tried this before, but I've heard it's good, so I'm gonna try it. And on top of that, if it isn't on the surface, then I'm just using the epoxy primer because it's transparent and you won't lose the color. For the parts that I don't care what color it is, I also use wheel paint. This is a cheap brand here in Sweden. I've heard that it's better than the regular shit they sell at this place, so I wanted to test it. And apparently this doesn't need clear coat either, and should hold up to salt and everything, as it's made for wheels. So right now I've removed the majority of the rust with the wheels, and I've sprayed on this epoxy primer, and it's still drying, but you can see at some places it's started to convert the rust. You can see a bit of purple. It also dries blank, I think. So we'll see how it holds up. This is also kind of an experiment, because if this stuff works good, I might use it on certain parts of the Amazon when it's done. So yeah. In the interior of the car is also in use condition. I personally like when old cars are used. Although I have to change some bits. This mirror, for example, is new. You couldn't see out of the old one. I think I still have the old one here at the front. Here's the spare wheel, which the tire will have to be changed. There's also some rust under here. Here's the fuel filler in the front. So there's where the gas goes. Here you can see the old mirror and yeah, why I couldn't be using it. So that's trash. Here's, if you wonder what this bazooka looking thing is, it's actually an electric heater that was standard here in the northern countries, I believe, because of the cold climate. So if I wanted to, I could actually hook this up using a drain or something to my phone, so I can preheat the car if I ever decide to drive it in the winter. Although I don't think I will do that. Here is some new parts and new rubber I bought. In here is more of the epoxy coat that I'll be spraying on it. I'll also be changing the windscreen. I've got a new one of those because it's a big crack in it due to stone chip, and also the rubber has perished. And when the rubber perishes, the water gets in between here and it eats up the frame very quickly. So hopefully the frame isn't rotten. Hopefully. So that will be changed fairly quickly. I got new lids for both back and front, because here is the same ordeal. You can see big cracks forming. Although this one isn't, it's scratchy, but it isn't broken, so I won't replace that. Interior, it's well used again, and I've started. There everything is standard, but I've ripped out the new old carpet to again try to get rid of some rust and get the pedals moving a bit better. This is just cheap aftermarket carpet, so I'm not too worried about it. Battery is under the rear shelf, or under the rear seats rather, right there, 6 volts, as all cars tend to be. It has been repaired before. It is fairly... the good thing is that it's not any body filler on it, but it has been repaired, and the repairs are... they are what they are. I don't think I will redo them, not now. Maybe when the restoration comes I'll tidy it up and I fill in spots like this, ground down the welds, maybe re-weld in a couple places, try to get rid of the rust. But that's a future problem. Right now I just want to stop the rust and seal it. So that's the plan, at least. Otherwise, besides the engine and the rear brakes, which I've now changed, the car is, well, it's road legal. It's passed inspection a couple of years ago, so that's all good. When I get it back, when I get the engine back in, when I figure out why it's misfiring, I can just go out and drive it in public. So that's real nice. It also doesn't have a tachometer, instead it has a clock, because that's more important when you drive, I guess, knowing what time it is, as this was 1965 and you didn't, well, maybe there existed wristwatches, but I think they were kind of expensive. Although I do got a fuel meter, so some luxuries were added. These are the controls for the heater at front also. I think it was fitted at the dealership, so that's why it looks kind of janky. But yeah, there's some things that have to be done. I think this is the original exhaust down here, and it's many parts are rusted through. This is actually how they got the heating, apart from the heater front, is they blow the heat around the exhaust pipes. They have this cooling, or not cooling, heating fins actually. The exhaust pipe goes through the middle, and the air to the seating positions goes in here, and then they go through pipes into the car. So here there should be a pipe like this, but it's gone. It's rusted, and there's also some, let's call them Yankee repairs at exhaust where it isn't even welded around. So I might get aftermarket exhaust. I haven't decided yet. So yeah, the plan for this again is to have a runner, something I could take to work if I wanted to, which I probably will some days. Also, though I don't think it will be a daily, as it doesn't even have seat belts, and I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to that. But yeah, this is partly why the progress on the Volvo Amazon has been a bit slower as of late. But I'm still keeping busy. And when I'm satisfied with this to a point that it runs and drives, and I'm not too worried about further corrosion, I will return to the Amazon. Yeah, that's the update.